I'm walking from Shackleton, which is just outside Leicester, to Matlock. It's about 64 miles. The route has always kind of bugged me. Now and again I'll go over the maps, I try and suss out what I think is the best route, and then it just suddenly clicked to me the other day. The Ivanhoe Way, that's what I've followed for a lot of the way, and the National Forest Trail as well. It's Staffordshire Way and then the Limestone Way up to Matlock. I'm just outside Leicester at the moment in a bit of public woodland, which is ideal for camping. I've just had fish and chips, can of dandelion and burdock, hit the hay and rest, take some painkillers, and we'll see how we get on. Good morning. I'm up on the way and it's 10 to 7. It's drizzling and I didn't bring any waterproofs with me. No rucksack cover, no plastic bags to put anything in. I was just expecting it to be glorious weather. In a few miles we'll be crossing the A38 and getting onto Barton under Needwood, where I shall hopefully have a bit of breakfast. There's things in my rucksack that I didn't realise were in there, adding to the weight that I tried to save by not bringing any waterproofs. Hey ho. Well, I've just done a huge piece of camera. Then I said, oh, I'll show you these beasts that are behind, and I bloody forgot to press record. Anyway, I'll quickly nip through what I said. So, camp near Rolleston, down to Walton on Trent, cross over towards whatever, up towards Uttoxeter. Anyway, I'm carrying on with the hike. See how we'll get on, see if I can muster up the enthusiasm that these beasts here have this morning. And anyway, I did a little philosophical piece of camera about giving up work, and the nightmare I had last night, and the nightmares I continue to have about nightmare scenarios at work, like unstable loads on my truck, not being able to make the deliveries. Of course, I always made my deliveries, but you know, it's always a fear. And anyway, I've always had like a philosophical attitude towards life, and you know, work is an activity, hiking's an activity, your hobbies are an activity, things you do, your whole life's an activity, and giving up work is a huge thing, you know, especially kind of by choice, and you know, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to fill that void positively. Oi, be quiet you lot. Get away from my camera, beast. Anyway, I think he's looking through the lens. What was I saying? You know, a lot of people I spoke to about giving up work, a lot that were still working, you know, they've got a fear about giving up work. You know, filling that void, 5 days a week, all the activity that work takes up. You know, filling that void with something else. You know, which I always felt I wouldn't have a problem with. Unfortunately, you know, for me, so far it's only been a few months. I know I've been looking after my dad, and that's taken up pretty much most of my time. But you know, the transition from not working to work. Go on, get away. The bloody cow was just about to grab the camera and then run off with me expensive camera. They're all young males, these are. Anyway, let's carry on with the hike. Let's see if I can muster up the positivity it takes to keep going day after day. I've only done one day. I've not had any breakfast yet. What a load of waffling bollocks. I think it was that lot that put me off. I was expecting a really old bridge. I love old roads like this. This is the old A38 running next to the canal here, and the new road is up on top up there, and the new A38's behind these buildings. And I feel like a time gone by. There's an old pub down there, look, which at one time, you know, would have been really busy on the main trunk road, but now it's all bypassed. Long live the future. I must remember to do my stretches. This has been great. Great walk though. Hardly any stiles. Bit of road walking, but lovely country lanes. Tent's nearly dry in a bit, just having a half hour. And then be back on my way. Now we're heading north out of Abbots Bromley on the Staffordshire way towards Uttoxeter. So I'll get a few more miles under my belt and look for somewhere to camp. I think this is my spot, 7 o'clock. I've been walking since Since what time? 6 o'clock this morning. I've not done that far really. Stopped a couple of times. But in the corner of this field, it's been cut for hay. No sign of any animals. Right next to a tiny country lane that leads up to, I think it's Dead End Road, leads up to farms, miles. Goes on for miles. I've walked down quite a bit of it. Just come across some fields, hopped over this stile, and there's one house down, well there's the farm behind me. It's a bit of an unused farm though. It's all, somebody still lives there but they don't do any farming. They probably rent the land out. All the yards all closed up and unused. And there's a, looks like a new barn conversion about half a mile down there, but it's hidden by trees. And this'll have to do. I'm gonna risk it. I won't put my tent up quite yet. I'll just have a bit of a rest. Went past the house and there was like a few houses, some barns converted to houses on this lane I was on about an hour ago, and you know, I'd got 1.5 litres of water, but I was feeling pretty thirsty and I spotted an outdoor tap on the wall, so I quickly drank my 750ml bottle of water and sneaked up the drive and filled my bottle up. And I'm glad I did. And got away with that one anyway. So, right. Yep, well, the adventure continues. This is only the end of day 2. Bloody hell, all those years ago when I did 12 consecutive days on the Cape Wrath Trail, and that was just to do half of it. I don't know how I managed it really. My dad did it, he was 73. I'm complaining at 63. Well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and want to get away. Last night 2 ladies on horses went by and I was lying in the tent and they said, "What's that in the corner of the field there?" "I don't know." "Oh," and off they trotted. So for about the next hour I thought, bloody hell, their husband's going to come up here on a quad bike and tell me off. And nothing happened. I think the whole of Uttoxeter must be cooking bacon. That's all I've been able to smell. That was the river dove. Home of JCB, I think. Anyway, you go past the big factories on the A50. Well, I think that's the end of the Staffordshire way, and now we'll be starting the Limestone way. When I was much younger, I used to make herb tea with this ground elder. I doubt whether you can hear that, but this hill, the slope of it like this from one valley to the other, I think it must be a flight path for honeybees, because there's just I can't bloody see them, but there's just a buzz in the air, and every now and again one goes right by me. It must be a flight path, there must be beehives somewhere, and they're all going backwards and forwards over the dome of this hill. I just can't see them. Maybe they're in the air. I mean, my eyesight's not brilliant. Maybe they're a little bit high, I can't see them. Anyway, there you go. Something interesting. I remember walking through a little quarry in Yorkshire on the moors, and the heather was out, and I was with my dad. Actually, it was in Teesdale, and we came across probably about 50 beehives in this old quarry, and as soon as they noticed we were walking through there on the footpath, they started to take an interest in us. You know, I'm a beekeeper anyway, and it's a dangerous situation, and so we dived into these old buildings and they didn't come in there. And then we waited till we thought the coast were clear and quickly scarpered out onto the moor side, away from where all these beehives were. That was scary. That's the Charnwood Hills. So I pretty much started out from near those and walked all the way along that horizon, going west, and then I've come north Uttoxeter and this way, and now if I pan you around, there's those Charnwood Hills again. Here is Thorpe Cloud and the entrance to Dovedale down there, looking very dry indeed. I will be going through Thorpe, which is a village down here somewhere there, today, maybe a bit further. The mighty river dove. I thought I'd go into the hotel here and have that pint I haven't had yet, and the proper meal I've not had yet. But alas, they're not open to non-residents. It's 6 o'clock. I got to Tissington and everywhere was short. I've got one packet of noodles. That's all I've got, and I've had nothing to eat since 12 o'clock. And I'm about had it. I've had to knock on 2 different doors for water and sneak up to an outside tap, think somebody was actually in, and I just kept my head down, filled my bottle and walked back off. And anyway, Parwich is just over a mile away. There's a pub there, unless I see anywhere to camp on the way to Parwich, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I can't camp here, there's a massive farm just there. been a tough day today. Like a lot of people, I don't know when to stop really. I think I set off this morning at 5:30. Had a couple of hour-long breaks, but not stopped till 7 o'clock. Just been wandering about these fields here. There's like a collection of small fields on top of a hill, and there's nothing in most of them. There's some sheep in a couple of fields, but the farms are down in the bottom of the valley, so probably nobody's going to come up here between Tissington and Parwich. You know, I thought, shall I carry on to the pub? And of course, in Parwich, which might have been closed now in my luck today, what with shops and pubs and campsites only take camper vans and these days, and they don't take tents, and no water. Found it difficult to get water. But, and then, you know, on my mind, all I've got left is noodles, and things aren't so bad as I thought really. I've got noodles, couscous, and then I've got a couple of little portions of muesli as well, which I might have one of them for my pudding. But yeah, sort of wandering about, like, where shall I put the tent? Am I going to be okay here? It's just a typical scenario that I've been in so many times. You know, it's not, if you're up on the moors and that, you just put it anywhere, it doesn't really matter, but, you know, and I couldn't really find anywhere hidden here either. I'm just in a field really. You know, pretty obvious if anybody was to come around, you know, that I'm here. So, it's blowing a bit. I'm going to get my windshield out, I think. I didn't use my windshield last night because I was right near the road and a farmhouse. And it makes hell of a crinkly, crackly noise. I thought, bloody hell. Anti-camp anywhere you like, police will be after me. Wherever you're watching this from, I imagine you can hear that crinkling from there, can't you? Anyway, let's give it a bit of wind shelter. Yeah. At one point today I was thinking, you know, I'm not working anymore. What is freedom? What is freedom? You know, are you free when you're not working? Are you free from being behind the wheel? And I thought, not really. Instead of being behind the wheel, I'm hiking for 12 hours a day. Trapped in the hiking thing. I mean, there's no comparison really, but you know, I'm a free man. But if you're not careful, you know, freedom's beyond what you do. You know, freedom exists within yourself. And you know, even if you are a slave to the system, you know, and you're working, and you know, you can still be free. It doesn't make any difference at the end of the day. That freedom's still there. Oh, just checking. No, we've not gone out. Anyway, you know, the lack of pubs on this walk's probably been a good thing. The lack of food's probably been a good thing. But I'm going to make up for it tomorrow in Matlock. You can get whatever you want in Matlock. You know, they've got everything there. Just hope the trains are running. No, my luck, they're not going to be running, and I'll have to wait till Helen finishes work at 6:30. And then it's going to be 2 hours to come and get me. And, you know, I've only got about 9 miles left to go to Matlock, so if I have to spend the whole day drinking, you know, I'm going to be in a right state, aren't I? Anyway, what we got? chicken noodles, bit of Ainsley Harriet. Then I'm going to have a hot chocolate and I'll have a bit of muesli for my pudding. That's what I need. It's a good job I got a bit of water, isn't it? Anyway, look, enough of my waffling bollocks. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the hill somewhere. Oh, we're on to the good stuff now. The noodles and the couscous. Oh yeah, starting to feel a bit better. Keep looking around. Can hear things. I think bloody hell somebody's coming. There's me pitched up like I'm on a campsite. Dare I have a lie-in tomorrow morning? I don't think so. I don't think I'll need one when I, because I'm going to have my head down by 9 o'clock. I'm on the muesli now. Something serious. I'm going to read a poem. I'm not really a poet, but I'm going to read something I wrote on the inside cover of a book I got from my dad for his birthday in 2002. And it's just a sort of mentions things we've done and places we've been at the time, and we've done so much more since. All the days of Derbyshire, a campfire in the Pass of Thieves, sailing in Ennerdale, in flight on Radney Foyland to the point of Ayr, where radiant light carried us to distant mountains. We kept a night vigil at the feet of Idris's chair, and sang when morning light lifted the veil. We passed through Glentrool, heard no battles and saw no soldiers, and were welcomed at White Lagoon. Deep in the forest nestled Brattleburn, a silver moon rose. The ground was crisp, but our hearts and feet were warm that night as we ate and drank around the fire. This is a story that can recall memories forever. Prepare, set sail on endeavour, for a new journey is just beginning. Thanks for all the good times, Dad. Dave. went another probably 3/4 of a mile out of the way to go to a pub that brews its own beer, and they're bloody short. That's every pub. There we have it, Matlock, my destination. After setting out from just outside Leicester, 4 days later, here we are.